Hey, folks, we are back. No Braxman. What? Don't say that, Maui. That's not what this is. Make up something else, like all the things in air traffic control. Hey guys, so I never want to play like anything long when you're playing on YouTube because I don't want to get demonetized. So yeah, it's really difficult to play any kind of music on YouTube. So I just avoid it. So I just have the music gigs. Hello, Entire Meyer and Twist Mint, Storm Brothers Media on YouTube. Hold on, let me just set this up. Very curious to what you have to talk. And isn't it? It's you're curious. Isn't it in the title? Doesn't the title say it all? So hold on, let me just set up the other platforms in here. We're actually broadcasting on 4 platforms, but I'm only monitoring 2. One of these days, I'm going to figure out how to monitor all of them, but at the moment, I'm just going to have to stick to monitoring only 2, which is Periscope and YouTube, and then we're also on Twitch and we're also on BraxMe. So we have comments in 4 places, and I just can't keep. I check the comments later on BraxMe after the broadcast. Nobody usually comments on Twitch, so happy Adult Beverage Day. Yes, Adult Beverage Night. Okay, so hold on here. Now, my topic is actually by request, so I hope it's interesting to people. It's kind of unusual, and it's not. Hello, I'm in it. So it's unusual. It's not it's not clear where we're gonna go with this, but I'm just gonna demo something because it's kind of fun. So it's gonna be. I'm not doing it live pilot mic, but because I don't have the setup for this. I guess I could do it live, but I'm not because I'm using USB ports here, so I won't have any. I mean, I got all the camera. I got like 50 USB devices in here, so it may be a problem. Are you sick tonight? No, Mr. Vike. It's an app. I'm not using that app. I'm not using that website. We're not going to use that. We are using a something that I'm going to run directly from my computer. That I run directly from my computer. You have a bottle. liveatc.net. No, we don't want to do that. What is the purpose of liveatc.net when you want to, watch the traffic locally? So, what we're going to talk about is how to actually set up your own antennas and actually listen to air traffic control right from your own receiver. We're going to teach you how to do this. Don't you want to know how to do it from your own receiver? Okay, so here I have an antenna. I don't sell it. I'm going to put the link. I did not have time to put the link before the broadcast. I will put the link after the broadcast. So after the broadcast, give me a moment and I'll put the link on there. But you can set up an antenna like this. And this will be resident to the voice band of air traffic control. And if you want to, yes, it's on Amazon. I will give you the link. If you want to listen to ADSB, then you need a different kind of antenna, which it comes with. I don't have it on here. I left it on the other side. But no, these are not rabbit ears. But the antenna for ADSB is this small. So you're gonna see what I'm gonna be talking about. But so these antennas, depending on what frequency you're listening to, don't you love when an Amazon package arrives? Yes, I should do a video every time I get a package, which is all the time. So we're gonna talk about something really fun. It's Adult Beverage Friday, and it's gonna be fun. This is not a this is not a scary topic. It's kind of fun, and it's kind of hobby-like. I'm gonna stick the antenna here just for demo, so we can have it as reference. But what I'm gonna show you today is how to use this little device, and you do not need any license for this. That is it. You need this. Okay? Actually, it doesn't come with this. I just turn into USB-C. It's just a straight USB-A. Okay, that's it. This little device will allow you to do what I'm doing, which I'll show you in a moment. And this device is $29. $29. Vike, yes, or V-Ike, or however you want to pronounce it. Okay, so this is a software-defined radio. There's a little chip inside of this, and strangely enough, this can do a lot more than air traffic control. You can actually listen to ham radio, the same stations I can listen to with this radio, which requires a license. I can listen to it as a transceiver on this little thing that requires no license, but this is receive only. There's no transmit. Okay, so let me just show that to you a little closer. And that's what I'm going to show you tonight and show how practical this thing is. And you just plug into the USB and then you attach the antenna. There's an extension wire. They give you a short one here, but they're going to give you a long one. And it has a wire like that. See? You plug it into your computer, a Mac or a Windows, and then you're going to see some of the stuff that I'm going to show you. Is that on Amazon too? Yes, I'll put the link to this, the exact one, so because there's several varieties to this. I'll give you the exact link on my video after. So give me 15 minutes after the video, and I'll add the link to it. And I'm sorry I didn't have time to, I forgot, and I didn't have time to put it on. Okay, so yes, software-defined radio, and we're gonna have some fun with this. It's a very fun hobby, and this is actually quite useful in a environment that goes beyond just listening to air traffic control, but it kind of proves the point, because if I can listen to air traffic control, then obviously I can listen to a lot of things. So how does it know where the wire ends and the antenna begins? A little bit of antenna theory will explain that, Matt Cow, because when this cable here, if you study for your ham license, you'll actually know this. This is the coax, right? This is I believe this is an RG8. I think because there's two. There's RG58 and RG8. I think this is RG8, okay? And what it is, it's coax. So it's shielded. There's a shield, and then the actual conductor is in the middle of it. It's very, very tiny. It's in the center of it. Well, you're not going to be able to see. There's a tiny conductor in the middle, and it's shielded. And because there's two conductors in here, the shield and the inner one, then it actually cancels out the RF until it ends over here. So in the coax, this is called the feed line. The feed line does not emit any kind of anything because the signal is canceled out. So the feed line has no emission. It has impedance, but it has no emission. The emission only happens when the feed line is broken out into a dipole. Okay, this actually when you separate out the wire. Hello, Jay. When you separate out the signal coming out of this is a receiver only though, then that's when the things happen. RF energy. Do I have an engineering degree? No, I have an economics degree, and I studied medicine. You have to check the pressure and the kill line. The antenna need clear access. The example I'm going to run today, I'm going to show you, are all indoors. And yes, it would. This is a very small antenna. These are like not the appropriate length, but they're they work well enough. Did you go to the London School of Economics? I really wanted to go to the London School of Economics actually, except I never used my economics. I never used it. The moment I graduated, I got a job as a systems analyst. So so it's kind of weird. I go from economics, and I in my first job within the year, I became a systems analyst because I have a particular skill in systems analysis. You're here, Lavelle. And then I became I also learned programming, and so I program and I was my career was a systems analyst for the first part of it, and then after that I became a management consultant. So I was a management consultant, programmer, and systems analyst. Those were my jobs. What was the reason for choosing economics? That was the only choice in the schools that I was in. And then later on, many years after that, I decided I wanted to do. Yes, I had one single adult beverage grade gold. I wanted to do what do you call this? Medical software. So I said, I'm not going to understand how to make medical software unless I understand medicine. So I studied medicine. I went to medical school. I didn't finish it though because the company started to grow. So it became unimportant to finish the medicine part since I was the chief architect of the product. So can I send you a photo of my make part? Your make part, yes. And what is that? Your hair? Then you became the Periscope. Then I became poor, Cody Live. Yes, I did. Vike, yes, I did. Past tense. Now I don't have any money. So support me. I need support to continue this broadcast. these require support. Uh, it's very hard to do this without any kind of support because I'm actually doing this full time. So I'm making these videos and making all these informational things, and basically means I'm not getting paid to do any programming. I'm not doing any kind of programming. Because of that, then I'm basically my entire income is based on products I sell, and so products like Bytes VPN and subscriptions on Braxme and Tor routers like this. These are so they teach you to be poor in economics. So start a yacht touring business. Do I have enough to do? Do you want me to stop broadcasting, Vike? Hello, Freckle Girl. If you want me to stop broadcasting, yes, I'll do something else. I go back to programming. Okay? So if I go back to programming, then you won't see me anymore because I'll be busy. Okay? So I'll be busy doing other things. So no more program. So I can do that, and then I won't need to be here. But because this is what I wanted to do, then unfortunately this thing is supported only by you. So you support the programming. So any support you give is very, very appreciated. I have a Patreon account, and you can give super hearts, super chats on YouTube, super hearts on Periscope, and those are all appreciated. Is this user supported? Yes, user supported. That's what I mean. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna start teaching Rubik. I never actually figured out how to do your Rubik's Cube. It's just I don't have the patience. Yeah, you don't have to support me. Just buy my products. You will. Then you feel like you're not supporting me. You just support yourself. Okay. So crowd-funded, yikes. What does that mean? Crowd-funded, yikes. What does that mean? So far, that funding is extremely minimal. So it's immaterial what it is. Anyway, what I'm going to show you is this. And I'm hoping I can that you can see that. Do I need to make that bigger? See if I can make it even bigger here. So this is not live because I did it this afternoon. And this is listening in on 1090 megahertz for digital signals called ADSB, which are, in case you didn't know what this is, are the airplane transponders. So what you're seeing there are the transponder signals from every airplane within range of my antenna. I'm not sure what the range of my antenna is, but in theory they should. If I have a big antenna, I should be able to capture them within 200 miles. I think this is less. I'm going to guess it's no more than 100-mile range to capture a signal, maybe even less, maybe 50 miles. And basically, I'm capturing every single airplane. It doesn't matter where LAX is near or not because this is in the air. Some of these planes are, 100 miles, 50 miles away. So that doesn't matter where it is in LA. It doesn't matter. You're going to get it. Okay? So now this is what's so fun about what I'm showing you is that are you telling us that all the airplanes are zucked? They could be zucked, yes. You gave me a super heart. Thank you, Vike. So what I'm using for this is this little USB. That's all I'm using to do this. At an average of 30,000, your antenna range is, what is MSL? What is MSL? Yes, it's a dongle. Yes. Yes, that's a dongle. What is MSL? What kind of measurement is that? So this is in the 1 megahertz range, which is, I would imagine it's in the 30. Is this in the 33 centimeter band? Mean sea level MSL. MSL feet in altitude at sea level. Okay, so which is actually shown here. It's actually, so you can see that here. I'll show you. If you look at the, I don't know if you can see it, so I'll read it to you. If you look at this chart, this live feed, the third column, it says alt on it. It's altitude, and so you can see the altitudes in here. Starting from the top, it's F 195, 196. That would tell me that's 19,000 feet up. So it's in thousands. So this one below here is F036. That would be 3,600 feet up. So that just took off. I'm talking at the third column here. So the first column is their official ID, I guess, with the ICAO, whatever that means. The second one is the flight number. So you can see, for example, AAL245. So that must mean American Airlines 245. Let's see, what else is on here? Southwest Airlines, American Airlines, Delta Airlines. Yeah, so Delta, American, Southwest. Some of these must be foreign airlines. Okay. View your comment. Okay, what is your comment, 10G? When I wasn't looking. Russians fly without transponder, patrolling outside Norway and Sweden, and sometimes violate the border. Yep. So these are the transponders. I'll talk to you about these transponders later on. It's very interesting. It's kind of nice. This is like hacking in a way, because you kind of like see that there's communications up in the air, and that you can listen in. And I'm listening into this part. I'll listen later on. We'll listen to the air traffic control itself. But this is listening to transponders. So here, if you look at the chart, some of them are in blue, which means, by the way, they're gaining altitude. You can see their. I would imagine this is the vertical stabilizer angle. And it shows, you can see once we just took off, the altitude is low. Like this one, third one from the top is only 3,400 feet, and the angle is very steep, 28 degrees, I believe. And the compass heading is 287, and I don't know what this the TT column is, and I don't know what one of those must be distance related. So that must be distance. I'm not sure what that means. And ground speed is GS, is the ground speed. We got some pilots here, so you can go tell me. Feet per minute. Yeah, so on which one? Which one is feet per minute? The TT? Oh, yeah, okay. Got it. Okay, got it. So that column must be speed. Yeah, that makes sense. Compass heading, speed. What's the last one then? Distance? What's the last one? ETA? The last one is ETA? It doesn't say that. It says it can't be ETA because it's no, the last one is not. It's not. Will you have a yard? It can't be ETA because it's some are taking off, some are landing. The ones that says G, they've landed already. The ones that say G have landed. So I'd like to, I have to go figure this out from my old days doing flight simulator. That's, some, I've I've held the controls of an airplane once or twice, but I get airsick, so uh, I don't really like to fly. So I decided I'm gonna go be a sailor, which is similar wind control, but it's not with engines. Same kind of theoretical knowledge of aerodynamics, just on the sea. You don't fly in planes. I fly all the time before. Yes, when I was young, I would fly 4 times a week at least. When I was young, let's see, 2 times a week. Sorry, no, no, because I would be coming and going. So I would leave on a Sunday night. I would arrive on a Friday, and then I would leave. Yeah, so I would leave basically 2 flights a week, 2 flights a week at the least. Estimated time of arrival. That's not shown. 1 OG. There's no estimated time of arrival here. That is not shown on this chart. This has nothing to do with a transponder. The transponder is showing me the identity of the airplane, the altitude, the status, if it's on ground or in flight. The VS, I would imagine that's the angle of the vertical stabilizer. The compass heading, it's called CS, because I can see the numbers are, in matching the compass. And the next one must be the speed, ground speed. The last one is 4 digits. I don't know what that means, so I'm going to guess it may be distance related. Is this the screen on the SDR dongle or another app? This is another app. This is another app called Dump 1090. You can actually put this data into a map. This is the hardware I'm using, which is this only thing you need. You can do this for about $30. $30. You can have fun doing this on your computer for $30. I'll put the link up on the video on YouTube. $30. This is so much fun for $30. Okay, this is just one of them. I'm going to show you much more. Okay, show you much more. Now, some of you may say, "I'm not techie. That's not interesting." Okay, but it's still fun to see what you can do with it. But for those who like dealing with gadgets, it's really, really fun. Check out flight24.com. Who cares about flight24.com? This is really you receiving the signal on your computer. Okay, now that has some implications. I have it on my computer. Yes, yes, of course. You bought it because of me. Okay, so this is using the software called Dump 1090. It's Air Force One in orange. No, orange means it's landing. Green means it's ascending, and I think the blue means it's level, approximately. Okay, this is cool. Can I buy it from you? Can I buy it for you? Yeah, you can. When you click the link, it will. It's like buying it from me, even though I don't sell it. You're gonna buy it from Amazon. Will you be selling it? It's gonna be on. This is so much fun. I'm gonna tell you all the things you can do with this. Okay. So, $30, $29.90 or something. $30. Green means it's going. Yes, green means it's going. Orange means it's gone. Yeah. So how do I know? Because I see the you can kind of make sense out of it. The vertical stabilizer angle, which tells you if it's going up or going down, and then the compass heading. Most of them, if you can see the ones that are landing, are headed around an angle of about 240 degrees to 50 degrees and so on, and that's because the airport is 235 degrees. Okay, so I know that because I'm a sailor. I know that the in the ocean, the airport is in line with the perpendicular to the ocean, and as a sailor, we sail by the airport, and it's 235 degrees. It comes with the antenna. It's all complete. It comes with various antennas. This is part of it. It gives you 2 sets. Code orange. Okay. Gives you two sets for depending on the frequency. It has to be resonant to that frequency. No, don't buy it for 1242 because I'm getting. You should all get one. It's fun. Get the one I'm suggesting because it's complete. This actually works completely. Okay, if you buy something for $12, you're not gonna have all the parts. This one has everything, complete. You don't need anything else. Okay, so that's one software. I'm gonna show you. We're gonna go back and forth here. I'm gonna show you another software that I use, and this one is this is the device. That's what it looks like. Okay, that's what the device looks like in blown up there. So that's what I'm showing. That's inebriated people want that. Okay, but now we're going to show you. Oops. Going to show you the other program here. This program is called SDR Sharp, and I don't know why can't we hear. Can you guys hear air traffic? I'm not seeing it here. Wondering why I'm not hearing it. Wondering why I'm not hearing the air traffic. You don't hear any sound, right? Suck. I spent all that time recording that so you can hear air traffic control. Watch on YouTube and help. This has a live recording on it, and I don't know why there's no sound on the recording. It says it's taking the sound from the recording, but I don't hear any sound. Zucked up. Different frequency? No. That is just zucked up. Let me show you another variation of this. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I'm going to show you another variation of this. Hold on, YouTube. I'm looking at the screen, so I can't see the comments. So hold on a second. So let's see if one of them has sound in it. Okay, this one has sound, I think. If none of them have sound, there's a problem. So this is all the same software. This is the software is free. It's called SDR Sharp, and it's compatible with that dongle. And here I'm testing different frequencies. This one is AM radio right now. So again, it's using the same device. This is the same one. So there, you should hear some noise now. Okay, you should hear something. I'm just curious why it didn't give the sound I'm curious why it's not giving the sound on I know it must be loud. It's not live, this is a recording. You're not going to hear anything at 1090 megahertz. It's digital. Let's turn up the squelch. I'm showing this is a different frequency. This is the cell frequencies right now. Google the wow signal. What the zuck are you talking about? Okay, so that's the cell signal here. Let me. This is kind of a fun little project, and all it needs is a computer and a $30 device. Now, there's a lot you can do with this. It's much more than what I'm showing you here, which I will mention to you. So this is just me running through all the frequencies, showing you what you can do with this. It's looking at cell signals right now. Those are cell frequencies. And it's going to be digital, so you're not going to hear anything. The static is from the Big Bang. Anyway, this device can listen to the frequency range from around, I'm going to say 100 kilohertz, which is below FM radio, all the way through FM radio, all the way to all the way to, let me hide that. This goes from 100 kilohertz to about 1.5 gigahertz. 1.5 gigahertz. What radio do you select on RTL? It depends. It depends on what you're listening to. If you're listening to AM, obviously you have to select AM. If you're listening to air traffic control, I have an NFM. For air traffic control, I believe it's AM for some of these digital modes. My dates were wrong on the wow signal. What the zuck do you mean? What the zuck is a wow signal? I don't know how a wow signal pertains to this. Maybe something I need to learn about, but I don't know what that is. So anyway, this device is so much fun because I can actually listen to all of the signals that this one can listen to. This is a transceiver. This is called an HT, or handheld transceiver. Okay? This is a handheld transceiver. So I told you that if you get a license, you can, use these in an emergency, and there's a lot of things you can do. That was my short broadcast, my 10-minute video. So go watch that. That explains why, if you have a license, you can use that. Yes, and this one here can actually listen to the same bands as this and more. This doesn't have much of a range. This is like 400 to 480, and then from 130 to 148. So it's kind of like just slivers. People are always asking me, what's your zucking call? Why would I tell you my zucking call? Can you explain that to me? Why would I tell you my zucking call? Can people on YouTube say, what's your call? Oh, or Peter said, oh, you must not have a license because I didn't tell you my call. Well, Zuck, I'm not going to tell you my call because what are you going to do? Look up where I live? You can't hide with that. That has your social security number on it. Well, I'm glad that you're telling me that, Piano Man, KD3EZ. Then I'll look you up right here. Okay, so this is why I don't give you my call, because then I can go here and say KD what? EZ? Where was it? KD3EZ. Okay, you're over there. Okay. KD3EZ. You're in the Midwest somewhere. Okay. Arthur. Oh, East. You're East. Arthur. Okay, Arthur. So that's why I don't. That's why. Oh, you're one of those grandfather advanced ones. So that's why I don't give you my call, because I'm supposed to be the internet privacy guy. So that doesn't make any sense for me to give you my call. Then I will not be the internet privacy guy. Okay. So yes. When I'm here in LA broadcasting, yes, I have to announce my call sign, and I have a GMRS license and a ham license. My ham license is newer. My GMRS license actually is 10 years old, and I also have been broadcasting on VHF on marine radio for goodness, I don't know, 25, 30 years maybe of broadcasting on marine radio. So I use marine radio a lot. So I'm always broadcasting on marine radio when you're on the boat. That's kind of standard, especially if you're doing races. You have to do that. So we're all kind of experts at using the radio for VHF marine radio. However, there's no license required for marine radio. Yes, 10G. Yes. What is the question, 10G? I'm so disappointed that you can't hear the air traffic control in here. So at least I'll show it to you. While if you can't hear it, at least you can see what it looks like. Hello, Dallas. Tomorrow I will be demonstrating SMRS. What the zuck is SMRS? Would you sail around the world? No, not my kind of thing. What is a call? A call is your FCC licensed identifier. So when you get your license, the FCC will grant you a call sign like, KX6 ABC. Hello, Dallas. I'm in Germany now. 5 minutes ago, I was in China. How did you do that? Tony, you think you're evading it, but somebody with access to Skyhook is saying, look what Tony's doing. He's making us think he's in China and he's in Germany, but we know where he is. Rob, in all seriousness, leading all the knots seem harder than the ham. Leading all the knots seem harder than the ham license year test. BTC Rob maybe. So the test can be memorized for the tech level. You can actually memorize your answers for tech. Now it would require some study to memorize it, or quite a bit of study to memorize it, or you can just understand what it is you're doing, in which case you don't need to memorize it. Call ID is very public, 10G. Yes, it is public, because if you get on the air and you do not announce a call sign, then there's a bunch of FCC people. Some amateur radio ham operator will report you and say, there's this guy that's been broadcasting on this repeater or over here, or causing interference and is not licensed, because he won't announce a call sign, because you're supposed to announce a call sign every time you go on the air. So, every time you talk on the air on these, you have to announce your call sign. So I'm not going to go. This is why I don't do a live broadcast on ham radio here, because I have to announce my call sign. So when I do a test broadcast, I'm doing a test broadcast on GMRS, where it's not as strict. It's not as strict on GMRS. Your antenna needs 3 sections extended for 128. Actually, it's 3 and something. So to get to 128, it's 3 and a little bit. So I give it like an extra inch in there. 3 and an inch or so. That's what I've been using. That way it's resonant. I don't have a antenna tuner. I can't tune it exactly, but it's close enough. Seems to work. If you do not figure out the proper length of the antenna, you hear nothing. And you say, why is it that I don't hear anything? Rob said all I have to do is get this product and get an antenna, and it's gonna work. And yeah, you have to learn how to adjust the antenna size depending on the frequency that you're using. And there's a little chart, and I can show you on Brax if you. Did you know that most police scanners today are useless? The cops scramble their frequency. That's correct, Tony. But fortunately, there's still some that are not. So in the Los Angeles area, the Los Angeles Police Department is on trunk radio, which requires another layer of decoding, which you can do, but I don't have that. Didn't try to do it. It's just tedious because you need 2 computers. And then the county sheriff, so the county police, the lifeguards, Baywatch, Baywatch, the bikini Baywatch. Yeah, they don't use encryption, so theirs is in the clear. EMT, so I can hear all that, and then of course the airport. That's all unencrypted, so you can listen to all that. Now, just for fun, I'm going to tell you a little story here. So let me just show you the ADSB thing here. This one. Okay. Oh, come on. You don't need to go to Broadcastify. That's no fun. You go to the internet. What if the internet is down? You see, this goes beyond, like I said, this goes beyond what those websites, police scanners. This goes beyond that, because you can listen to ham radio on this. You can listen to everyone talk on all the frequencies from 100 hertz to 1.5 gigahertz, which is pretty much all of the voice channels above from FM radio and up. That's so that's everything from I believe 10 meter and up will be included with this. 10 meters and up, 10 meters and shorter will be included with this. It's kind of fun. If you know what you're doing, you can actually listen into to everyone. Everyone. You can listen to ham radio without even having a license. You actually don't need this. Now, actually, it's not as fun. It's more fun. I found FM radio weather. Yes, that's easy. The harder ones is to know exactly where all the ham radios are, and the way that you find out where everyone's talking is, I will show you the example here. I'll show you what actually works. Let's see. Okay, the reason that you can tell where everyone is because it has a waterfall. The waterfall of that area underneath, so you can scan. It's kind of like a spectrum, spread spectrum. So what you can do is running the software. The software is called SDR Sharp, and what you can do is just you run the frequency and you see where all the transmissions are happening. Here I'm tuning the signal though, so the waterfall. What about BTC? Yeah, BTC, but maybe tomorrow. Did you buy some? I bought some. So, did you buy some? You just want to talk about it. So, the waterfall allows you to take a glance. That's kind of nice thing about this software. Using software-defined radio, it actually can see all the frequencies at once. This thing is not like, the old little AM tuner where you're tuning one channel at a time. You can actually see all the channels at once. Yes, I did buy the dip, and now it went up to 73 something. Did you know that baby scanners and cordless telephones are open for all listening ears? Tony, you're telling me this? I know that very well. Yes. You can drive around with this and listen into the baby. Okay. You can be driving around with this, and if you know what the frequencies are for those baby scanners, you can actually listen to people's conversations in their homes because they don't even realize that they can be heard, that they're transmitting through the baby scanners. Yes, HODL. It'll go up and down. It'll go up and down, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not worried about the up and down because the direction is up. That's all you have to worry about is for the long run, the direction is up. It's going up. So it's exciting. I mean, it's about time. So anyway, let me loop that so you can see. So the way this works is you run the software and you look at the waterfall on the bottom, and then you see that little red line in the middle. You see the red line in the middle? That's your selected frequency. So I have it so that it's in the center. So all I do is touch. If I see a frequency that I want to listen to, and I've seen it spiking in here, I just put that red line right in the center of it, and then I can listen to it. And like I said, this allows you to listen to all ham radio channels, and it allows you to listen to all of VHF, all of UHF ham radio, police ham radio, police radio on the UHF and VHF. You can't actually listen to cell phone traffic. It's a digital. And it allows you to even listen to air traffic control, which I can hear. Air traffic control is very weak because the most of the signals are pointed up in the sky and towards the airport. I don't have time to do swing trading, no. It comes with all the cables already, John. It comes with all this. For $29, it includes several antennas, two sets. So two sets and two holders. It comes with a long cable like this. Here, let me just put this aside here. It comes with a monkey bar thing there. So you can attach it to this like a stand. It has a long cable for the antenna in case you want it far away from you. Then it comes with four of these antennas, two short ones and two long ones. So this is the long one. This has 5 sections, and depending what you want to listen to, you just adjust the number of sections. So, for example, for air traffic control, you need about three sections or so, or a little bit more than that, like a tad more than 3 sections. Okay, so so if you want to listen to cell signals, you have to use a very short one. If you want to listen to ADS-B, you have to have the short one. So that comes with it, plus this USB. And I mean, it's kind of even for emergency, it's kind of neat, because if you don't have a ham license, you can actually listen to ham radio with this for $30. There's no license required to listen. Does this show computing for the one it's used? Is one for does this show computing for the one it is when for its what? I don't know, Justin. Maybe you need to translate that. Does this show? I didn't get that. I'm fully invested in the stock market, but Mr. Orange F up his tweets. Who's Mr. Orange? What is the primary purpose? So this is the term for this is software-defined radio. So this is, and can you imagine that somebody made this for $12? The internal parts of it is probably worth $5. And then this device can listen only though to the frequencies from low FM, which is around 100 kilohertz, all the way to 1.5 gigahertz. I mean, that's a hell of a lot of frequencies. That's a hell of a lot of frequencies that you can listen to for $30. Can you imagine if I'll just give you an example here. Let's say the SHTF, okay? Are they they're made in China. Are they legal in China? It's made in China. Okay, where does it say that? It's made in China. Okay? I'm sure they're legal in China, yes. Because they're listening only. You can't transmit. Who listens to FM radio anymore? Doesn't everyone have a satellite? Not correct. So, what are you going to listen to on satellite? There's nothing on satellite. Anyway, you mean, Sirius FM, XM radio. So the thing about this is, in an emergency, can you imagine just to give you, yes, Howard Stern, the only thing you listen to. I never want to, I had that in my car, the XM and Sirius, and then the overcharge. And I said, do I really, I'm only in the car for a brief amount of time. Do I really need to pay so much per year to listen to this? So I said, never mind. So I don't have a subscription to it on my car. Only people listen to satellite have new cars. So I don't listen. I don't listen to it at all on any car, new or old, because I don't spend that much time in the car. When I'm in the car, actually, I'm listening to ham radio. So I have an antenna on my. If you see a car with a ham antenna on top, a mag mount antenna, that could be me. So I have a antenna in the top of my vehicle, and then this is plugged into the power supply, and then I take off this antenna here, and I plug in the antenna from the roof down in there, and then I can use this to listen. It's me. Yes, it's me. So, but just imagine that the SHTF, the shit hits the fan, right? And there's no power. If you can power up your computer with solar energy, so that you can run your computer, you can plug in an RTL-SDR, this same device. You can listen into all of ham radio. So without needing any special equipment, just using this and the antennas that it provides, you can actually listen into everything from police to AM radio to ham radio, emergency services, just from this little thing. And I'm just demonstrating to you how I'm actually using it for air traffic control, but you can actually use it for anything. And that's what makes it fun, because I actually started in the radio frequency research when I got this. This actually got me excited. This actually is something that will get you excited to get a ham license. Because when you start to see this, you say, wow, I wish I can transmit in those frequencies. I'm sure Starlight would want to transmit. Right, Starlight? I mean, you can't just be listening. Starlight has to talk. So you need to talk, Starlight, but you can't. Hello, Justin Bode. So you can't talk without a license. So get a license and talk. Right? Hello, JMO. So it's really fun, and I really it really got me excited what I did first with this depends. Well, what I really I got this to see if I could. You know what I got this for? I said I wonder if I can listen into the signals of your car fob, to open your car or to turn on the engine in your car, or your garage opener. I was going to see if I can hack that, right? So this device would not be the complete solution for that. You need something that actually transmits. This is receive only. Do you have a list of the naughty words that FCC does not allow? Believe it or not, there are no naughty words in the ham channels. The naughty words are in the GMRS channels. GMRS, because of there's no test. Anyone can get a GMRS license. In the GMRS license, they're saying "zuck you" over and over. It's like, "Zuck you." Hey, that's against the rules. And the guy will say, "Well, zuck you too." I don't care about the zucking rules. And then I go into that, and it's like, well, what's your call sign, buddy? Well, I'm not going to zucking tell you my zucking call sign. And then they go on and on. They don't talk like that on ham radio. Ham radio is very formal. People on ham radio are very formal. And you can actually listen just to this. That's why it's so much fun, because there's no license to do it. You can run this from anywhere. There's no limitations. And no one's going to go arrest you for listening. So and you might find that you say, well, okay, it's interesting, but I'm bored now, so I'm going to stop here. But you only spent $30. And then if you want to go forward, then you can actually get ham radios or the big ones, the HF transceivers. I added South Bytes. Yes, thank you. Okay, so I'm so disappointed it didn't you can record, disturb the remote signal to your car lock and steal it. Actually, 1OG, they don't work like that anymore. You actually need to hack it. When you're anyone can get a FCC license period to be a TV or radio reporter. Yes, but you can't transmit on the ham channels without a ham amateur license, which requires a test. So if you want to transmit in the ham channels, you have to take a test. Oops, wrong thing here. Oh, I'm on the wrong station. Okay, so you have to take a test to You have to take a test to be a ham, and that's why there's some more serious group of people. I guess Alex Jones will soon be on ham. They probably won't give him a license, right? They'll say, "Oh, we know who you are. We'll ban you from the internet, so we won't give you a license." So the FCC does control all this. Off topic. Is renewal set for bytes? Yes, John. I left a message on there, and some people have already renewed. Yes, renewal is now working, John, for Bytes VPN. Correct. In Europe, they are using disturbing signals so the car will not lock remote. Yeah, that's much easier to do. Yes, it's actually pretty easy to disrupt your signal so your garage door doesn't open or close, or your car doesn't open. That's actually easy. Okay? So, but you need a transceiver for that. This is receive only. So you can't do that with this. So, and you'd have to do it illegally because there's no legal way you can interfere with another signal. So there was this guy in this town, I believe it's in Wisconsin. There was this guy in this town in Wisconsin who caused kind of havoc in the neighborhood. They actually had this whole the little town. This little town had a problem. Suddenly, all their electronics stopped working. They couldn't use their garage door opener, and the cars won't start. And they were trying to figure out, and some Wi-Fi was disrupted, and they were figuring out why it didn't work. And so some of them were conspiracy theorists, okay? So I can just imagine all the conspiracy theorists saying, does the government have a special project to ban certain frequencies? Are we being radiated? All on and on and on. So the actual answer was, there was a handicapped person that created a little device that would signal when somebody was upstairs or downstairs, because he was handicapped. And the FCC found the signal because they have equipment for finding it. And they knocked on the door of this guy, and they saw that he was operating a device he didn't know this, that was emitting a signal in the gigahertz range, which is the same range that is used by car alarms. Actually, it's this range. It's the same range as what I'm showing you here for aircraft transponders. Around one. Oh, this is 1 megahertz. Sorry, I thought it was 1 gigahertz. So it was. So he was doing something. Was transmitting at 1 gigahertz, and all of these devices that you use for opening your door, your car, and all that were at 1 gigahertz, and it stopped everything. And they were like saying, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" And actually, you don't even have to ever feel like you need a tinfoil hat to figure this out, because this will tell you. If you know what the frequency was for your devices, you can see if somebody's jamming it. All you have to do is run this software and look at the waterfall and see if there's any activity in the range that you're looking at, and see if there's any frequencies being transmitted. And then you can see, somebody, look, like that. Look at all these transmissions going on. And one of those is jamming, and then one of those will be responsible for jamming your cell phone or all that. By the way, someone can easily jam the signal to the transponders, this frequency. So this is easily jammed. Okay? Now here's the scary part about transponders. This is the scary part, the one you may not realize that you can do here. The signal can be emulated. See all these ones marked test? Some people are testing it. So you can write software to send a transponder signal. And you can show a transponder signal like you just show it up on the sky 200 miles away, and you're coming in. Now, let me just tell you something that's kind of scary about this. This has always worried me, and I don't know what safety precautions they've taken with this. But listen to this. This signal here shows the elevation. It shows the your compass heading, your speed, your elevator setting for your vertical stabilizer, your compass and speed, right? So what happens is the computer actually maps this out on a chart to see, because this actually maps you out on the chart so they know exactly where you are on the chart. Well, you can make a fake airplane just with a fake transponder. So you can drive a car near the airport. Or actually, you know what's confusing here? Let's say I'm just thinking about how you could attack this. Let's say you have a chain of people, maybe a chain of, 20 cars all in a row, and fake, so they know what the flights are. They know which plane is coming where, and you want to crash a particular plane. You can actually fake a airplane coming at someone. So, for example, there's a American Airlines flight 245. Okay, so there it is. It shows American Airlines flight 245 at an altitude of 400 feet, taking off, and at the heading of 266 with a speed 200 miles an hour. Okay, so you have that. What happens if the transponder sees another airplane that is headed for it? The computer will go into avoidance mode. The plane's computer will actually try to evade. So if a collision is imminent based on the transponder, I mean, that will cause a lot of panic, because they're looking at the radar, they can't see it, and say, what's going on? UFO, and somebody's going to collide with us. And they can tell just from the transponder. And I'm just like saying to myself, what if you confused it with a transponder with a lot of spirit signals, where suddenly many, many new airplanes show up, and it confused the transponder here. And then all the airplanes are given signals like there's going to be a collision. And they're all calling the air traffic control at the same time. And then air traffic control is like, oh, we don't know what's going on. Or what? I don't know, John. I'm so curious about, did they actually test this? They don't really have scenarios like in computing where we do pen testing. Because, this kind of thing would be considered illegal, and, maybe nobody tests this. But it really bothers me, because transponders are actually built in to an airplane to automatically react to transponder data. So the airplane emits a transponder signal, but it can also react to it, apparently. So the pilots here can tell me if what the plane would do if a transponder transponder detects a collision. So what if there's many, many airplanes in here that are fake? And then the air traffic control is so confused, and they know that they're being hacked, but they don't know what to do with it. How do you know they have to verify each airplane to make sure, as you know, you transfer air traffic control for every leg. So as you go out of range, every so many 100 miles, you change your tank as a transponder. So as you go to every, different regions, and you switch to a different air traffic controller. So when you switch over, they don't know where it came from, right? It's the government tracking as all of those transponders in a car. In California, they are, yes. RFID, yes. The pilots visually fixed this issue. John, if you get my drift here, if you're looking for one visually, that may be, but what if you're seeing 10 signals, 20, 30, 40, and they're all in conflict? And there's going to be so much panic because all these airplanes here that are shown here will be calling air traffic control, and air traffic control will be so busy trying to figure it out and say who's the real airplane, who's not. So I don't know. I don't know. If you send a confusing signal, I lost all the black SUVs following me today, so you're relieved. They're from the credit company, Van. They're not from three-letter agencies. They're from the credit companies. You owe money. Guido sent us. Guido sent us to collect. So that's what that is, Van. You got that wrong. Never trust American transponders. Zuck. What? Trust Chinese transponders and Russian transponders? I would call Bruce Willis. He has experience stopping bad guys in airplanes. So, you got to be in air traffic control. Yes. Die Hard. If you want to learn about air traffic control, they were for BMI and SCAP. Paying your debt. Oh, my gosh. Your scalp again. Paying your debt is a good thing. Especially if it's to Guido, because Guido may not appreciate it. He'll break your legs. The air industry works pretty well. It seems they have it all covered. Not true, John. Not true. I'm going to tell you the truth here. My friend is the editor of the most popular aircraft magazine. The last column is number of messages, the number of messages sent by the airplane, number of transponder messages. So how many signals they've sent. So my friend is works for the he's the editor of the top flight magazine. Okay, for airplanes. So he's usually, testing airplanes and all that, and then putting in a magazine and so on. And one of the things he told me he does, because he sails with me. He sailed with me when he was here. He's no longer here. The company's in New Jersey. Anyway, yes, Van. I know. So anyway, he told me that he would go to Black Hat, DEF CON. These are the hackers conferences. And the reason he goes there is because he's curious about, can you hack an airplane from inside the airplane, which you can? Can you hack an airplane from transponders? Can you hack an airplane digitally from other places? I am not sure that they've actually, done enough pen testing for these things. This actually really bothers me because I don't know how much pen testing has been done with this. Maybe somebody's trying to do it now because I see some of these test ones in here. Some of these are marked tests, so maybe they're doing it now. But it really, really bothers me that you go into an airplane and somebody can play with transponders and say there's an airplane going to collide with you, and the electronics of your airplane will automatically react and avoid. Are we boycotting plane travel now? If you use a hacksaw, you can mess up the plumbing. You're gonna tear up the sides of the airplane and cut the wires. That sounded like a doctor poem about hacking. So it's just something that because this is unencrypted right here. There's no encryption to this. Transponders are not encrypted. This is in plain text. And how do you verify that transponder signals internationally are correct? How do you verify? You can steal somebody's, call sign here. Take it from existing aircraft so you can sound real. You can take existing numbers and put it on the there's no encoding. It's plain text. It's plain text. So, You ought to worry about that, right? You know, because of safety, air traffic control is plain text. There's no encryption. Everyone wants it to be clear that there's no risk of, accidentally crashing an airplane because they couldn't understand you because of the encryption. So the encryption, the lack of encryption is partly for safety. But that also means how much of this is verified. I don't really know the answer. I'm just offering a question here. I actually read that the planes will respond to if somebody is in a collision course with you, and the airplane will actually avoid. They have identifiers. Fooling it would be hard. Not, John. No, I don't think so. I told you if you stole the identifiers, because there's obviously many identifiers that are not in your area at the moment. And the other thing is if you did it in big no, I don't agree, Kelp. And if you did it in big numbers, you'd let's say there's not one spurious signal but 50. What if I sent you 50 spurious signals on 1090 megahertz? Not one, 50. How are you going to react to that? Which ones are real, which ones are not? Do you have time to contact everyone to say, there's 50 airplanes on here? In fact, I believe they did this on Die Hard. They did this on Die Hard. That was part of the scenario. They actually thought that people were, that something was happening in the air. They actually, I believe one of them crashed the airplane. One of the airplanes were crashed because they sent a wrong altitude. Thousands of flights a day in the U.S., nothing happened. So Kelp is saying, let's not prepare for this. Let's not plan this out. Kelp says, trust the government that they got everything covered. So let's not go do pen testing. Even though we know that computers fail and computers have bugs. Did you know that your Intel computers are all susceptible to many, many new attacks? Every single Intel processor for Mac and PC are all subject to new attacks. And Kelp says, oh, we shouldn't worry about this. We shouldn't really care because, somebody's taking care of it. Yeah, that's very smart of you, Kelp. Trust, yes, trust. What if they fake helicopter traffic? Yes, during the Vegas shooting. Okay, you're starting to scare me. I'm just trying to tell you. Yes, I am going prepper on you. Yes, but I'm not really doing anything prepping here. But I like the tech part of it. What is a prepper? Okay, so yeah, so do I have my guns? Do I have my guns and my ammo? Yeah, I guess I'm covered there. Got that covered. That's one part of prepping. Do I have a bug out location? Yep, got that. I can walk to my boat. So I can walk to my boat, put the family in there, and go stand offshore away from the zombies. I can do that. Okay. Can I put my guns in there? Yep, I could do that. Do I have enough water? There's water on the boat, but I'm gonna tell you, I have a lot of those water jugs. I have a lot of water jugs in the house, and I don't have any water in them. So it's like I'm a part prepper. I mean, I haven't really done a good job here. So I got a lot of water jugs without water. Because I'm like saying to myself, where do I store this? You got solar on the boat? No, I don't have solar on the boat. But it's a sailboat, so I don't need solar on the boat. It'll survive. The fuel that it has will survive for a year. So all I need is sail. I don't need to, if I'm on sail, then it'll survive. Okay, I basically will only need the fuel to charge the battery. So you just have to idle it so many hours a day to recharge the battery. So what else? Do I have ham radio for emergencies? Yep, got that covered. Got all the communication gear, And do I have the way to monitor? Yep, I got. Do I have multiple radios so family can talk? Yep, got that. Do I have radios for those who are unlicensed to talk? Yep, I got that. Am I prepper? Not really. I guess. Uh, I like to think like a prepper, but I'm pretty bad at it. So you can call me a bad prepper. Call me a bad prepper. So as much as I like to be a completely prepared prepper, I'm actually not. But I got a lot of it. Now, how about you, Kelp? What do you zucking have? Nothing? Are you ready for anything? You're probably not ready for a single thing. So you're probably not ready for a single thing. Mother Zucker. If the currency falls, we still got bitcoins. Well, without internet, there's no Bitcoin. Okay, so you said I put all my money in Bitcoin, and then the internet goes down from an EMP. Well, your Bitcoin isn't worth anything with no internet. So what do you need when there's no Bitcoin? Ammo. Ammo can be traded. Well, there are large underground cities that some people have access to. Or you do because you're in law enforcement. We don't have access to that. Ronald Reagan said the most feared words you can hear are, "We are here from the government, and we are here to help." Did he really say that? 4 miles out, and it's international water. We would skeet shoot off the boat. That's pretty crazy to be shooting a real gun on a boat, because what if you hit something on a boat and sink 4 miles out? That would worry me. So I don't know if I'd fire real weapons on the boat. I thought the ammo was for holdups, not trading. If you have a lot of ammo, you can use it for barter. Because I bet you a lot of people don't have ammo. Most people will probably have access to a gun. The only problem is where's the ammo. Who would want to survive any catastrophe? Number 7-Eleven, no Walmart, no McDonald's, no 7-Eleven, no Walmart, no McDonald's. Forget about it. Yes, Kelp, kill yourself. Why don't you do Russian roulette when it's when the SHTF, when the S hits the fan? You say, "Oh, okay, I guess it's time to go." Kind of like Hitler. Do like Hitler routine. Okay, I guess time is up. The Germans are a few hundred yards away. Time to go. There will be civil war before Americans. Maybe soon. I better say, sir, load up now while you still can. Last year, when they banned AR in California, sales tripled. That is so correct, Starlight. When they banned ARs in California, suddenly there were more ARs in California than ever before. When Clinton banned ARs back during his time, it also meant more people had more ARs. So yeah, keep banning them, and then people just get more of them. So I saw people that were getting ARs saying, "I don't really know how to use this, but I don't want to lose out because I want to be able to say I have it." So people who don't even know how to use guns bought an AR. Said, "Well, I'll just stow it away. I don't know how to use this, but I'll stow it." People's speech is being banned and nothing. So I'm not sure about guns. People talk and that's it. Sure. Whatever that means, Kelp. Whatever that means. So anyway, all I'm showing you here is kind of like not necessarily, this is not necessarily a prepper kind of thing. This is more prepper, although, prepper doesn't imply the, SHTF situations. Prepper could mean what happens here often, disasters. California is known for disasters. This last last year, as you all know, Paradise, California, disappeared from the map. Paradise, California, disappeared from the map. The entire town of Paradise in Northern California was burned down, and obviously, there's no cell phone. There's no nothing. The only access to communication they could have had was with ham radio. So did any of them have ham radio? Was that in November 8th? I forget now. Okay. So did they have ham radio? So what I'm trying to tell you is not that you have to worry about zombies. You don't necessarily have to worry about zombies and end of the world or EMP. These are practical things, what I'm teaching you here, that you can't rely on the internet because the internet does go down. When the power goes down, you're not going to have internet. You're not going to be have access to the internet. Your cell phone's not going to work without a zucking cell tower. In order for a cell phone to work, the cell tower has to be within a mile away. So if there's no power also to the cell tower. I went there a week and a half ago, very quiet. You really went there a week and a half ago? So I was like, they were talking about Paradise. Some of the people on the radio lived near Paradise and was telling me that they can't even rebuild in Paradise because there are no contractors. Who's going to build? So a lot of the people in Paradise are clustered in, trailers. Are you Zuck kidding me? You think Google and Zuck aren't working on guaranteed net service? Are you kidding me, Kelp? You know something I don't? You know something I don't, Kelp? Are you like telling me that they're hiding secret technology? They're hiding secret technology and they can do this? Yes, you can do it using ham radio mesh network. Something I will do for myself and demonstrate to you. Yes, you can have your own homegrown internet using a mesh network, HamNet. And you can only do that if you have a ham license. I will do that someday. This is the initial step of educating you, because what happens is if you have, let's just take this step by step here. Step one is to know what the frequencies are and where people are talking. This is what this is all about. This little toy, let's just call it a toy for now. This little toy can see communications happening. So although you can't transmit to them, you can hear them. There is no paradise. Stop worship. There's no paradise. Paradise is burnt down. That paradise. Okay? So this itself is the ability to understand all the traffic out on the airwaves, which you think all the things that go on, you actually, start to think about your cell phone. Where's my cell phone? Here. You start thinking about your cell phone as a link to society. But this is really linked to the internet, to cell towers, and any of that can go in an instant. What happens when a cell tower is gone? You're done. Some of you get internet even from the cell tower. What happens when the cell tower is gone? That's it. Do you actually have any way of understanding what's happening out in the world if there is no internet? Do you actually have a way of communicating? It's back to the magazine. Read your bio, but do you actually understand what you're gonna do? And Kelp says that I'm being a prepper. Well, if that's what you want to call me, sure, I'll take the prepper label. But the reality is, if you're not thinking in the broad way that I am, that your dad had a ham radio, then you're putting your family at risk. And I had a lot of VHF radios. So even when I wasn't doing ham radios, I have a lot of VHF radios. I have a tall mast with my antenna on the VHF radio, so it had some range. It can go 20 miles on that tall mast, but the handhelds don't go that far. Okay, cost me a cent free. Can we call into the show? You don't have to call into the show, Vike. You can just make a comment. If I take a call in to Periscope, the people on YouTube is not gonna wonder what's going on because they can't see you. Your call-in isn't going to be visible on YouTube, so it would be a waste. Broadcast music on ham stations, that will take you to jail. Have you ever done call-ins? No. Okay, so yes, you're not allowed to broadcast any kind of music on ham stations. You're not allowed to do that. So I'm on. You can buy used Russian tank. Pretty comfortable in there, I'm sure. Can you lie down inside a Russian tank? Must smell bad in there. Smells like gunpowder and metal. Must smell like gunpowder, metal, and sweat inside a tank. Make margaritas. How that's how pirate radio works. Cheese. So Vike and Kelp are friends now. Hello, Daddy. Vike and Kelp. You're making friends here, Kelp. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I can't believe that somebody will side with Kelp. Kelp is Carl. Zoc. I'm not friends with that evil Southie. I'm friends with everyone. Really? So, anyway, again, introduce yourself to the stuff that I'm talking about. It's a little bit different than my usual broadcast, and it's fun. It's fun, and I'm just showing you examples of the fun here that I'm demonstrating, where I can look at waterfall traffic. I don't have an HF receiver because they're kind of expensive. Is that the last dance, boys? So are the VPNs? Oh yes, of course, VPNs always for sale. It's on the top of my my screen here. Yes, please. Yes, change topic here on the VPN. So, Bytes VPN received new update this week. This week we opened up the South Pole. So normally you choose East or West Pole, and now you have the South Pole, which are the servers are in Florida. And then on top of that, Bytes VPN also now has ad blocking. Now, you may not always want to do ad blocking. I find that it's disconcerting when things don't always work the way it's supposed to with ad blocking. For example, it might block location tracking, which to some of you is good, but in some cases you want to test something and it doesn't work. So I've actually I give you an option. You can choose to go 1.09 megahertz, Danny. No, that was megahertz. Oh yeah, that's gigahertz. Sorry. Yes. It didn't even. Yeah, that's 1 gigahertz. Yes. 1.09 gigahertz. Yes. I misread it again. I was looking at it and it's like, oh yeah. Yeah, that's where they transmit the transponder data at 1.09 gigahertz, which is, as you can see, can be reached by this. Have you heard about the company that's outcompeting Amazon in server space much cheaper? I don't use Amazon on all my servers because there are others that are much cheaper. Amazon is kind of expensive. It's convenient though. So, but they're not cheap. I spend a lot of money on Amazon. My servers are used to be all on Amazon, and then I reduced that because it was too expensive. So I don't use Amazon for everything. My Bytes VPN is not on Amazon. Bytes VPN does not run on Amazon. They'll kill me with the cost. If I ran Bytes VPN on Amazon, I'd go broke. I go broke. No, no, no. One is really one. That's right, Danny. 1.09. You are correct, Danny. Yeah, I'm sure that was a delayed response. The other one was 5 times cheaper. Well, it depends on what you're trying to do. Because, for example, the server farm I'm using has big servers only, so you don't have small servers. So you're forced then to spend money for something big, and if you have a small use, then it's kind of expensive. So, where you're talking, servers at $100 a month to 100 to $500 a month for a server. That's it's expensive. So I have a lot of servers. I have over a dozen servers running in the cloud, over a dozen. So I have to maintain all of that. That's a lot of work. Most politicians don't know the difference between. Oh no, where am I? Sorry. Review Bra is doing amateur radio, and he's like 21 years old. 5 USD per month. You can spend as little as $2 a month on Amazon. Where are the pilots? On Amazon, you can spend as little as $2 a month, depending on what it is you do. So I still use Amazon a lot for smaller servers, but when it's going to be a big server, then I move it out in where it's cheaper. So for small servers, Amazon can charge you as little as $2 a month. So where are you getting your information? Because you may not know how to use Amazon. You think you're going to pay $20 a month on Amazon? No, not necessarily. But in the end, for like high traffic use, it's very expensive because they charge for bandwidth, and that's where they make their money. The bandwidth is more than the servers. They're basically giving away the servers. The cost is in the bandwidth. Was cocaine ever a big deal at the metal company you worked at? You mean with my employees, Vike? No. No. If they had a cocaine problem, then they wouldn't be employees. Hello, initials okay. Yeah, they wouldn't be employees. No, we didn't have such a problem. Breaker, good buddy. Of course, it's the bandwidth. Yeah, so, trying to remember what the Amazon charges. I think they charge, what is it, 20 cents a gigabyte? So if your people are downloading like video or something like that, then you could be paying $10 a day, $20 a day for them downloading something. Well, that's $600 a month. I mean, you could really go broke with that. Okay, that's on one server. So seems like 20 terabyte chunks are required for any kind of price break. That's right, Mad Cow. 20 terabytes. What is the static sound? This. I'm showing you the. There's the static sound. The whole country is going broke. You're too young to understand that, Vike. Aren't you too young? So again, to summarize what we're trying to do here, I'm introducing you to this thing called an RTL-SDR. I will post a link to this after end the video. Give me a few minutes, then I'll post a link to this in this video on YouTube. And yes, Danny, I wish I had the ICOM 7300, where you can watch the waterfall as you do HF radio. I do not have an HF radio. It's kind of out of my budget right now. HF radio, I mean, you need to budget like $2,000 for an HF radio. It's like, check out Wasabi, much cheaper than Amazon. Okay, 10G, I will definitely check that out. My dad said that the Commodore 32 was a great computer. Maybe your dad worked for Commodore. Maybe your dad worked for Commodore. So, anyway, I'll put the link to this. Again, I'll show you what it comes with. So, this is the RTL-SDR. This is the USB. It comes with a cable, long cable. They give you enough cable. They give you a stand and they give you an antenna. Okay, so it comes with 4 antennas that you can use and adjust based on the frequency you're watching. And then the software, every software I'm showing you here is free. This software that I'm using here is called SDR Sharp. You can download that on the internet for free. So this is SDR Sharp. That's what I'm using here. Okay, and then the transponder one I'm showing, this one is dump 1090. Dump 1090. And this can actually be linked to a mapping program. I didn't. It needed some payment, and I didn't want to do it. So, because I'm just demoing it. Personally am a fan of the iMac Pro. So I used to broadcast using a MacBook Pro, and I don't anymore because it's getting old. So I'm broadcasting on a PC right now. So this is PC. So I'll put the link to this, and I hope you enjoy. Again, I still recommend that you learn about how to use ham radio, that one of you in your family learn how to use ham radio and get a ham radio license. I put links in my prior videos in there on how to do that, how to learn and study and take the test, and just memorize. If you memorize it, you can pass the first test. The second one, which is I'm testing for next week, is a little bit more complicated, and I don't really want to memorize it, so I've actually tried to learn it. How old's too old with a Mac? I think my Mac is 2014 maybe. So how many years is that? 5? Yeah, it's getting slow. It may be 2013 or 2014, depending on, I don't know when they transitioned. So it's pretty slow for me. I need to use, I'm an app developer for Apple, so I have to have a Mac. So no choice, I got to have it. The 2010s are almost over. So I got to have it, so I still use it. But the problem is, I don't like the new Macs. Have you tried the new Macs? They suck. The new Macs don't compare to these PCs. These PCs are a much better bargain. And the quality is much better on these PCs than the Mac. That touch bar, that stupid touch bar on the top. Apple's going down the tube. The touch bar, do you really like that touch bar on the top? I should do a review of that. I mean, it really sucks. So I don't recommend. I'll buy a Mac or PC. I buy a computer every year, so I'll switch from Mac to PC as I see what products are available. When that MacBook Pro came out, and then the MacBook Airs, I have how many MacBook Airs do we have here? I think there's at least 3 MacBook Airs in this house, and a MacBook Pro. So for a while, we were all on MacBooks. And then, suddenly, the quality just went down. Haven't heard you talk about Facebook for a long time. Have you become a member? One OG, I still. It just gets boring because I'm. I don't want to be like boring. I want to make sure that my broadcasts have variety. So if I keep talking about Facebook, then people get turned off and they don't want to come back anymore. So, and I don't even really care about how many viewers watch on Periscope. I'm more concerned about how many people watch on YouTube. It's very, very important. Do you spec it up to i9 32 mega SSD? John, talking about a MacBook Pro, it's a waste of money. What is an i9? Do you know something I don't? So is i9 something that I've never heard of? Randy Horton, how are you doing, my friend? The man without a VPN, or in a territory that does not allow VPNs. Regarding changing topic, thank you, 1OG. Yes, I think that I'm not familiar with an i9, John. They're not available on on laptops. I've never seen a i9 laptop. So Mr. Randy Horton, what's up? 1090 AM radio. This is not 1090 AM radio. This is 1.09 gigahertz. That is air traffic transponders. It's called ADBS. It's showing you transponders of airplanes landing and taking off. And I'm showing you that I did that using this USB device. So I'm able to do all this for $29. $29 to be able to do this and listen to traffic on various frequencies like that. $29. You have to get up, entire Meyer. We're spying on a sweet gadget. So yeah, it's a very cool gadget. You know what, Randy? This is probably legal for you because it's only receive. I would imagine it's legal. You can listen in to what they're talking about over there. They send me the recordings. My Windows 10 is very stable and runs a lot of programs at the same time. Randy must be on YouTube. Don't know. Randy is mostly on Periscope. You should follow Randy. He's in Saudi Arabia. He's from Tennessee. Do you ever take melatonin? No. Not at the moment, but RadioReference.com is where you get frequencies. That's actually a very good one for finding out what public safety channels you can listen to. RadioReference.com. So I use that to get the stations. When you get one of these and you run software to load the software, I know Randy, don't see him here. He's on YouTube right now. Don't you see YouTube? He's on YouTube at the moment. Oh, we need to get your VPN in China. They don't. So it's like, so Starlight saying, "Oh, we need to get people arrested that use your products in China." It's like, suck. So there, you can see Randy right here. There's his comment. Randy's right there. Randy's a nice guy. Randy referred people to Ron Waxman, and then he took it back. He took it back. Said, yeah, he took it back with referral to Ron Waxman. He did a share of Ron Waxman, and I guess his followers got upset. So Rob Waxman. So that's pretty funny. I thought that was funny. He beat me up. Yeah, that was kind of amusing, Randy. Yep. Did he put you on his bad list? Did he block you? Boomerang referral. So I don't make any. I try not to have any enemies here on Periscope. Everyone's welcome here. Ron's here all the time. Everyone's here. Ron is Canadian. Yes, Ron didn't have a clue who you were. I told him to check you out. Yes, Randy's been around here for a while. Yes. If you refer Randy, then thank you. Randy's a good guy. Yes, block you. Oh my God, it's funny. That is funny, Randy. That is funny. That is funny. So then you're in the middle of it. See, I don't like to be in the middle of all that. So everyone's welcome here. Ron's here. His enemies are here, and it's like everyone, can do whatever. That I don't care. So I don't want to. I don't want to get people. You don't want to get people arrested, but you want them to use an illegal VPN in China into his room. So Starlight, you don't want them to get arrested, but you want to sell a product that they ban in China. If there's a way around it, yes, go against their law. Why did you get? Oh, Randy shared Ron Waxman's broadcasts because he was kind of new and didn't know all the fighting between some people and Ron Waxman, and then and then and then he took it back. I guess Randy would talk to his followers, and they were upset that he shared a Ron Waxman video, and then so he took it back. Oh gosh, that's funny. I share Ron Waxman all the time. I share everybody else's. It doesn't matter. I don't discriminate. I don't discriminate. So hello, Sup Sam. So he asked me to come and chat. Then he beat me up. I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Randy. I wish I saw that broadcast. Because he's like, I'm so tired by the time he gets on, and he hasn't been on a lot anymore. And I'm too tired at that hour. So occasionally watch a replay, but I didn't see that. That was funny. He beat you up a long time ago. Oh gosh. And why did he block you then? Normally when he beats you up, then that's the end of it. Oh, Randy has some screwed up opinions. What is Randy's screwed up opinions? Goodness, one OG. You sound very opinionated too. I believe everyone has a right to their opinions. As long as you listen to me about Zuck, I don't really care about anything else. You can be on the left or on the right. I don't really care. That's all okay with me, right? So, but are you prevented from having a VPN still, Randy? I know they block sites that have the word VPN on it. I'm almost like just curious to see if you can install one and see what happens. If you want, Randy, we can try it out. I'll give you a test subscription and try it out. I wanted to see if they will block. Upset? Yes, I know he will upset. He upsets my viewers too sometimes too. Yeah, but they're all here, like they're all fighting on my broadcast here. So doesn't matter. Send me another link. I will try now. Okay, so maybe tomorrow, Randy, I'll instead of a link like that, maybe I'll just pass you. Can you actually log into Braxme, Randy? Because Braxme is encrypted, so then no one's gonna check out what's on there. Because I can pass you files on Braxme. If you're able, tell me if you can log into Braxme. Okay? If you can sign up on Braxme, then I can start a conversation with you. Then I can pass some files and you can test it and say, okay, here, install this, install that. And I just want to see if it works. You don't you just do a trial to see. Let's just see if it works over there, because they're blocking the website. I want to see if they're actually blocking ports like the uh, the port for the VPN, because if they are, I know a way around it. So, I'm so curious about people in other countries because I have not sold to some of these countries. I'm very, very curious about, how they can relate to my marketing. So any knowledge that I gain from that is going to be interesting. Hacks. No, you see, VPNs are on port 1194 UDP. Since you pick up i9 laptop on Apple, oh, it's a new Apple one. Randy is a compulsory Zuckbook user. Zuck. Braxby is not blocked. Good. So we can talk. I'll exchange files with you on there, and give you the same links that are on the website, but do it privately. Then you can go download it yourself, and then we can go test it. Okay? Because I would be scared of what they can do to me in Saudi Arabia. My goodness, I'd be scared. Where they watch everything you do, and they could see. Why isn't Randy scoping now? It's probably early, right? What time is it over there? What time is it over there? Challenge him to a boxing match. Oh my gosh. What kind of crazy is that, Starlight? Can people in China sign into Brax? I believe so. I did get a lot of people sign into China at one point, sign in from China, but because I don't have any Chinese on it, they're not going to like it. I don't have a Chinese version. It's not one of my languages. If somebody in China gets caught with Brax, they'll get a death sentence. Why? What's on Brax? There's something on Brax. It's 7:56 a.m. Power was out. Okay. So power's out for Randy. It's only 8 a.m. in the morning. So you're okay. Just trying to do the math here. It's almost 10. So you're 14 hours. Okay. You see, there's always a way around it. There's always a way. Well, Brax is not a VPN. Brax is not a VPN. Brax is just a site. But Chinese people will not go to it because it's not in Chinese. I'd have to make Chinese text on there. I have it in Korean, so I was able to make Korean language in some other languages, French, German, this, that. So Dutch, Danish, Spanish, those are all available languages in Brax, but not Chinese. But some people did sign in from China. Now, if you actually don't know this is very interesting. In China, their identities are numeric. Their email addresses in China are numeric. Crazy. Maybe because they all have the same name. They probably, if they say, well, my name is Lee, well, there's probably 10 million Lees. So their emails are numeric. So weird. How are you supposed to remember that? Can you imagine sending, what is your email again? 123785552. It's like, fuck. Have you listened to ISS yet? You have to on ISS. You have to time it. You have to get the station. I don't think you need different software because you have to line up to. You need to get the schedule. Need to know when the satellite's there. Then you have to program the Doppler effect. Your name is key. So you have to program the Doppler effect since the satellite's moving, and then so it's a little bit more technical than I know. I do business with China. Their people are highly monitored. Zuck. Who assigns the number? That's a good question. Paco Porras. I don't have any zucking idea. The Communist Party? I don't know. It's like you are, you have a social score. You have a number. You also have a social score. So it's like, do you really want to live in that society? Yes, Kelp wants to live in that kind of society. Did I actually make the live stream while it's happening? Hawaii dealer? Barely. Is it like a social security number? I wonder if their social security number is their email address. Wow. Talk about you can't have anything to hide. Oh my gosh. Kind of like ham radio. Just so you understand. Ham radio. Could I choose my own number? Ham radio is based on call signs, and the call signs are registered, so I can look up anybody's call sign. I mean, I have an app here. I can look up anybody's call sign. So if you tell me your ham radio call sign, I can go find you. If you tell me your GMRS call sign, I can find you. Okay? Yeah, QRZ, or you can go directly to the FCC website. So, which is why I'd rather not reveal my call sign, although some of you can actually just find it anyway. Only in U.S. or in the whole world. U.S. And some in the world if they're sharing it voluntarily. Could you find me in Hawaii? Our business here is radio comms, actually. Your business is radio comms, Randy? Seriously? Really? What kind of comms? The business comm, or what? I wonder what the licensing is in Saudi Arabia. What kind of licensing do they have? So a lot of these places do not have amateur radio. So I don't. I recall that many Middle Eastern countries have no amateur radio. They don't want their population getting on amateur radio. So everything has to be like business use or something. So is that one of those? That's very, very. They have a Stromboli license. No, I'm old enough to remember party lines. Well, so on ham radio, you can obviously listen in. So many people think because nobody's answering that nobody's listening, but obviously many people could have these devices for free. Yes, private and military systems, we have amateur radio on an AM low band. Okay, so so that's HF. Okay, so you have HF. So they do have amateur radio of some sort in Saudi Arabia. That's very interesting. I just shows you how little I know about amateur radio in other countries. Most of the amateur radio that's active is usually like Japan or such. Banned from the train for being late on a cell phone bill. What? In fact, there was an episode about subject, but never in the U.S. Our networks are based on Tetra. Okay, I don't know what Tetra is. I'll have to Google what that means. You mean the what networks? The phone networks? I guess I'll WWB on 100 on 1 megahertz. I am old. I remember phones that did not have a rotary dial. The operator would dial for you. That's pretty old. That's pretty old. I told you how I found your real name. It wasn't hard. Don't talk about that. Don't talk about that, Starlight. Don't talk about that. Yeah, I know. Tetra is a kind of fish, yes. Why would you talk about that, Starlight? Tetra is like a... What about Tetris? That related to Tetris. Why do you keep talking about it? The screens are showing the matrix, right? Hawaii dealer, it's showing a device that I dropped on the ground that you can all use for fun. What I'm showing you is my ability to check frequencies and listen in to the radio without a radio using a USB device that cost 29 bucks. It comes with antennas, wires, everything included for 29 bucks. All the software is free and allows you to check things like this, which is the airplane transponders. It allows you to listen to air traffic control like this. I don't know what's wrong with the audio. I didn't get to capture the audio. Tonight, the space station will be visible. So that's, I've nothing of value to add. I just wanted to type over here for that. That's good, Sponge. Then you're permanently part of the video. That's a good to be permanently part of the video. So I'm in. Hello, Maga Mama. So I'm introducing you to this, and something fun to try out for some of you. And for the rest of you, you may say, well, I really want to go to more of the full thing.
Channel mode.
And get into an actual have.
It's called Crazy J's. It's the one that overlooks the Juan Pollo.
Here, I'm scanning channels. And I'm not going to go talk on it.
With the flower centerpieces?
Not going to talk on ham radio because then I have to announce my call sign.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just special for that or not, but yeah, small, anything you want.
Dying programming author or dying programming language? Well, you're not helping me right now, Starlight. We also work with interception type things. Whoa.
I don't think they serve food, but they got that
Tetra
little
Pak.
taco place that's next door. I got some tacos there. They weren't too bad there.
You can mute microphone, then give call sign. You can mute microphone, then give call sign. That's okay. It's not necessary.
Quality of food as El Mandara up there next to the drag strip.
So that guy, Peter, your friend Peter, said, oh yeah, check out my license. So, but he uses a name on here that's Peter Gowdy, and no, there's no license. There's no license for Peter Gowdy, so it's like, what am I supposed to be checking? So, yes, there is a way to find out my license, but I'm not going to go help you. Not worth risking. So, if you don't believe, if you don't believe that I have a license, I don't really care. Yeah, he triggered you. If you don't believe that I have a license, what do I care? Right. So yes, for some of you more alert. It's I'm not invisible. I can be found, but I don't want to help. Okay, I don't want to make it too easy, but I'm not invisible. There's many ways to find me. Many. I shouldn't have said anything, so I take the. So there are many ways to find me, and even my email's not really a secret. I believe you do. You do. What do you mean, Donnie? What's that comment related to? Yeah, so don't talk about it here, Starlight, because we're just giving him ideas, okay? So, if you're here all the time, then you may spot some clues. But I can DM your name. We respect your privacy, Rob, but I can DM your. So you're telling me that you doxed me. Well, if you dox me, I'll dox you. How about that? Starlight just sent me a DM with a name. So how about this? It's a very basic rule. You dox me, I dox you. Okay? I can't believe this. Okay? Very simple rule. Dox me, I dox you. So if you're not gonna keep my privacy, then I'm not gonna keep your privacy either. Okay? Did you really DM that, Starlight? Did you really DM my name to some of these people? It's like, it's like Tiffany asking me on, it's like Peter too. Why would anyone pull that kind of, he's informing people, what's the deal, bro? Informing people of what? Yeah, I can't believe it that I would have to. Why would I have to? Why would I have to? I mean, again, that's the deal. You don't keep my privacy. I don't keep your privacy. I don't have to go. I don't have to open the door and have to use this. I don't want to do that. Okay. I don't have to do that. I don't want to have, strangers coming in and our product services include RF intercept, drone blocking, facial detection, social media mining for profiling visitors. Wow, Randy. I mean, that's all the stuff that I talk about and do. That's right, and it shouldn't be. Thank you, Mega Mama. Thank you. So I thank you, Mega Mama. I appreciate it. I just don't understand why I have to go explain this, and people saying, "Oh, well, why didn't you tell us your call sign?" Well, when you get your ham license, they ask for your social security number with your call sign. Did you meet up with Go Rice? I have not met up with Go Rice Grill yet. I have not yet met up with. Be careful with people like Peter. Yes, I know that, Vike. I've known Peter for a while. I don't know licensing for ham was so detailed. Really appreciate your ham radio. Thank you, Ray. You want a shoe size too? Drought. My shoe size is pretty average, so that's easy. Average. Yes, drought. So, yeah. So this is why I don't put call signs. Some people are putting call signs into their broadcast and say, "I'm K61LI or K6ILI or whatever." So they're doing that, and I was like, okay, well, that's their deal. But that's not part of what I broadcast. I'm teaching you how to develop privacy. So I would be going against my own teaching to go say to you that you need to be, exposing all this. Right? I don't see any Q. Do you see any Q? I don't see Q. QAnon? I don't see QAnon. I don't see Q anything. What the zuck are you going to do with his shoe size? You think Q is here? See Q? Do you see Q? I don't see Q. Why do you want to dox people that know your name? I'm just saying, many people know my name, And most people are very respectful and have not blabbed about that. So that's that's the majority. Actually, that's probably 99.999%. In ham radio is calling out, come on, Razy, I know that. I'm making a joke. CQ, CQ. Yeah, go on VHF and say, CQ, CQ. They'll probably say, suck you, mother sucker. We don't CQ on VHF. We don't need the CQ on repeaters. So that's probably what they'll say. And then this guy who's old time ham said, why don't you CQ them so they respond to you? Because they'll say, don't do that. And then you got them talking. Get a ham radio, then get his call sign. Talk to me on ham. Yeah, that's fine. When you're talking on ham radio, UHF is the upper range. 70 centimeter is UHF. When you're out in the money and the hard work is not easy. Yes. So UHF is included. So this is on 2 meter band and 70 centimeter. 2 meter is VHF, and then 70 centimeter, anything in the centimeter range is VHF. So this radio is in both ranges. This device goes HF, FM, HF, VHF, UHF, very high UHF, and then ultra high UHF. So this goes all the way to 1.5 gigahertz. So to the early part of microwave. 70 centimeter, you mean? 70 centimeter, not meter. No. UHF is 70 centimeter. 70 centimeter. Okay, so that's very short. So cell radio is 33 centimeter. So the 800 megahertz band for your cell phone, that's 33 centimeter. And then when you're getting into 5G, then it's going to be millimeter. Because I just had to get my ham radio. I'm fantastic. I'm working on my general license. So I'm the next scheduled exam that I can take. I could take one tomorrow, but I don't want to drive. So the next one I'm going to take is next week. So next week I'll take my general license. That gives me one more week to study. Do you find mostly preppers using ham? No, actually, no. If you actually listen to ham radio, the vast majority are old-time hams. Now, preppers don't usually use their radios. They pack it in their bug out bag. So a lot of preppers don't. Thank you, Razy. A lot of preppers don't actually use the radios, which is really bad. You really need to practice using it. This is why they do, nets, where they actually have you practice every week talking on the radio with people, so you can see how you communicate, what it sounds like, how to talk, how to adjust your volume, and how to configure your radio. So, if you have a ham radio, you can participate in this net control thing. Joe Walsh is a diehard ham radio guy. So have you ever been recognized IRL in the street by a periscoper? I have been recognized in the street by people, yes. Yes, 10G, yes. Yes, the gentleman that I'm talking about is not here tonight, but yes, I was at a restaurant and this guy was smiling at me, and I said, what the heck is this guy smiling at me? He was sitting at the bar and was looking at me, and then I was like, what's up? what's with the smile? And then later on, the waiter said that guy is buying you all a drink. Okay. So he bought us all a drink, and then after that he came over and said, "I know who you are. You're Rob Music, and I'm a big fan. I watch you." So he was in networking, so he was well known himself here in the area. So it was a he. He was well known here as well. So he's he himself is not he's well known. So it's in Tim Berners-Lee trying to do something to change the internet or fake news. I have no idea. Do all hams lead to... Okay. Do all hams lead to op amps? The fuck does that mean? Oh, great, Randy. That's great to know what Zated Corp. Oh, that's very, very interesting. So basically, you provide the spy network. Do you work with the blue suit people too, Randy? Do you work with the blue suit people? You know, they wear blue suits. Is that one of the brands that you work with? Yeah, so I'm asking if you go deep state, then you're using the blue suit people. Not gonna mention their name. You know, Romantech and blue suit people. That's like that kind of thing. Go deep state. Randy, you're a perfect country for this kind of. Are you in sales or you're techie? Randy, are you in sales or are you a techie? 3-letter Zuckers. So Randy is deep state in Saudi Arabia. Wow. When your blue top getting a Brax logo. There. So I'm talking about Director of Business Development. So Randy, you know the blue suit people, right? Do you use their products? I mean, how do you do break HTTPS without the blue suit people? Randy is a streamer on Periscope. You should follow Randy on Periscope. Very popular scoper here on Periscope. I know a lot of folks. So yes, the blue suit people, they were very well known for selling in the Middle East. So, and then they, you know what I'm talking about, right? I don't need to say who they are, but they're Amanda. Hello, Amanda. I don't need to discuss them, but on Periscope, I don't talk business. Yeah, but we can talk here because of what I do. Very, very interesting, Randy. Very, very interesting. I didn't know there was some connection. You're doing what I complain about here, that's being done to Americans, but you're supplying the infrastructure for the governments over there to spy on their own people. Very, very interesting. Oh my gosh. That is very, very interesting. Maybe I can do work for you. So we counter everything you say here and abroad. Oh gosh. Randy is the enemy. Are you reporting me to 3-letter agencies, Randy? Are reporting me to three-letter agencies? That's funny. That is so funny. Microsoft revealed that it needed to make an emergency patch to Windows XP. XP? We still worried about XP? Okay, I'm going to eat and go to bed. Okay, it's about time, Drought. It's about time. So, yeah, maybe this weekend we can talk about Bitcoin. We'll see. Just a job, and for government, you and I don't matter. I don't know. I always wonder if they're paying attention to me. I'm slowly becoming unzucked. It's the WannaCry. Yeah, but the WannaCry was actually from the National Zucking Agency. So WannaCry is from, it's a rework of the virus from the National Zucking Agency. Anyway, that's very, very interesting. Randy, this is excellent information, and I'm interested to talk to you more. So let's communicate on Brax, and then and you don't want to have a VPN after all of this? Do you remember Chuck Bears from the Gong Show watched the movie about him with Greg? Oh yes, I know him. You mean the assassin, right? Chuck Bears, the assassin from the Gong Show, three-letter agency. Yeah. Yes, pretty insane. Yes, if that's true. Yes, probably is true. Three-letter agency. So anyway, so we'll see if we can talk about Bitcoin as well, and see what you all think about that over the weekend, and we'll discuss that. I myself, I did buy the dip. I subscribed. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you. I did buy the dip. So, but the unfortunate part is, as much as I believe in Bitcoin, if the SHTF, Bitcoin won't work anyway, because it relies on the internet. Zuck, Donnie. Oh my gosh. Don't tell me that. Zuck. Never Ripple for me. Only Starlight will do Ripple. I will never do Ripple. Ripple is all fake to me. I'd rather do Bitcoin Cash than XRP. It's 1:26 here on the East Coast, fixing to go to bed. Thank you, Wayne Wiley. Thank you, Wayne Wiley. Thank you for watching. Hope next time you watch on YouTube as well. So a lot of you, it would be great if you watch on YouTube, and then you can see your comments up here. The idea isn't to cash out, but to use it as a currency when the time is right. Right, but if the internet goes down, then what processes the Bitcoin? Ripple is made by Ripple, yes, and Ripple can make as many ripples as they want and pay themselves Ripple whenever they want. So I don't understand why you guys are going with Ripple. Donnie, I don't understand that. Don't understand why you would go with something that doesn't have true economic value, but somebody creates it. Okay? So Ripple is centralized. That's why it's zucked up. Ripple centralized. Okay, guys, so we'll continue tomorrow. You believe that now, Starlight? You were buying some Ripple before. So we'll continue tomorrow, and we'll see where Bitcoin is tomorrow. It's 7:30 here in the military base. You're in a military base. 10G. I didn't know that. I didn't know that 10G. Have a good one, Randy. Talk to me in Brax, Randy, and then we'll exchange files. But maybe tomorrow, because it's late now. Late here. Okay? So maybe over the weekend we'll exchange some files and notes. And then you can test it for me. I spent $100, but yes, I realized it's a scam because of you. If the grid goes down, no, Ray-Z, this will work fine. This doesn't care about the zucking grid. This is not dependent on the grid. That's why it's awesome. This is analog, no grid. Ray Z, just want you to know, before I leave, want you to know, there's no grid with ham radio. None. But it's difficult because there's a lot of technical details with this. So it's not that easy to say, oh, you got radio. Well, who are you talking to? That's the thing you got to understand. Maybe I'll do another scope about that. Alt currencies seem to react to Bitcoin movement about a week later. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. My friend has no power right now. What handle is that? Why don't we talk about that EMP safe? Yes, could be EMP safe on VHF. May not be EMP safe on HF radio. We'll talk about that. I explain some of the intricacies of that in the next couple days, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what where it takes us. Okay. 4K people in India are without power. Yikes. See? What do you do when you have no power? Ham radio. Goodness, guys. Hopefully I'm making sense here. So we'll continue with this topic. This is just introduction. I don't think people realize that with a denomination of an EMP, all electric will be fired. No, you didn't watch my video. That's not true. Not all electric. You didn't watch my live stream last week. No, EMP will not shut down every single thing. Not necessarily. Certain things may not shut down. Depends. Depends if it was plugged in at the time, if there's a surge protector, if how your house wired. Yeah, not necessarily. That was my last broadcast on EMP last Friday. So maybe you didn't watch that. Okay, we'll continue later on. Good night, guys. Good night.